Hi guys, hi judges. We are Team SI and we are presenting to you uh, travel safe. All right. Hold this camera. All right. So what we're trying to build here in the next few slides is to show you that we're building a navigation tool that can help day-to-day commuters to travel in a safer, more predictable, and a cheaper way. All right. So let me just start. Now, what kind of navigation tools do we have out there? The popular ones are Google Maps and Waze. And if you look at it, it's really all about time and money, right? They're trying to prioritize your route by saying, hey, this is faster or this is slower, so it goes down, and then or this one costs you more, right? Same goes for Waze, all right? Faster, this is faster, but there's toll, so they will prioritize it slightly differently. But really, essentially, it's all down to time and money. However, what do we know about safety issues about driving in Malaysia? This is Malaysian numbers. We have 521,000 accidents in Malaysia just in 2015. And this number is increasing year on year 6.5%. This means that in 12 years, this number will go up to a million plus. And that's a huge number in terms of accidents. And how can we make commuting safer? Now, let's look at all the factors that could introduce driving risk for the day-to-day driver. Well, I've listed out five here. I'm sure there's more, but here are some significant ones. So, in adverse weather, the risk of getting into an accident increases by 200%. Tiredness, when people are tired, you can see there's a correlation. If it takes longer to get to a place, the chances of accidents are also higher. Just a quick note, all these numbers, most of them are from US, some are from Australia, and some are from China. We just don't have such numbers in Malaysia just yet. It's not enough for now. Other factors that would cause accidents, the way roads are designed. So they found out that if you build a roundabout versus an intersection for a particular place, you know what? Roundabouts makes the whole place 58% safer compared to intersections. In fact, collisions due to intersections account for 40% of all US collisions. All right, of course, there's also speed and congestion. Speed, this is for speed, this is congestion. If it's congested, more pedestrian accidents. So it's not car crash necessarily, but it's people being involved. There's, of course, lighting conditions as well. So what we really want to do is to take into account all these factors as much as possible with the data that we have to work out how we can plan a safer commute for the day-to-day drivers. So from this hackathon, some of the stuff we have is a two-week data, traffic congestion data. From Grab, we have access to Carto. This is another open source tool that we got to use. We also combine our data sets with weather, like AccuWeather. We also have help of Google Live traffic just to calculate things a little bit more accurately. Some data which I would have liked to have, for example, all the accident spots in Malaysia, but it's with the police. I can't quite get it, so I have to mock up some of this data, as well as some of these items because for image processing purposes. So with a combination of data, what we're trying to do, here's the end goal. We want to provide a safer alternative when a driver wants to go from point A to point B. We need to give him alternatives and help him inform the risks. So I wanted to use, just to give you a legend, just in case you're wondering why these colors are there. Blue, light blue with this, it means that we have the data, we've integrated, it works. Yellow, it means that we are mocking up some data. We can integrate it, but it's just that it's being mocked up. Some of this data is like we'd like to have it, we'd like to be able to use it, but because of either we don't have enough time or we just don't have access to the data, we can't quite use it. So initially, we wanted to use OpenStreet Valhalla to get from point A to point B and live grab traffic so that we can have a basic map that helps you navigate from point A to point B with ETA. Of course, with that, you can also get travel time and tiredness. However, because we're not able to use this at this point, we use Google Map instead. Now this top bit here gives us this basic map which you can get from Google, for example. But based on other stuff we have a map, then we can get accident spots which mocked up data, and then we sort of identified some tools which we can use to recognize road patterns, to predict other accident prone spots. We also have weather data, and based on all these things, we can come up with a risk heat map that is an overlay onto the map. If you can include it with travel time, then we have a pretty complete risk heat map which we have mocked up. Now with these two data, we can then overlay the risk heat map on this, and then we can get the most valuable route. Because valuable is a very subjective word. The point is that now not only do I take into account time and money, but I take into account safety as well. So just to give you a sense of how we're going to go about this. So this is a solution, same as the page before. From the data that we have in terms of average traffic from Grab, we have numbers. The map is essentially cut into smaller segments, and then we have values for every single item on the grid. Now, so and we have this grid system for both weather accident prone areas as well. So the idea is to take a map, which is this bit, that gives an ETA. It says that go from point A to point B, fastest is shortest route, taking into account traffic and all that. But let's say if we have another grid similar to this, and just imagine this is an XY map. Green is low risk, means that let's say there's no rain, for example, and then yellow is medium to high risk. So you can see the weather is different at different parts of the area, and then we overlay it with accident prone areas. So what we do is that we multiply this and this and this, such that you'll see that some areas, because there's medium risk in weather and medium risk in accident prone areas, it comes out as a red spot. It means that as much as possible, we would like to avoid that spot and take the path that is as green as possible, which means that it's as low risk as possible. Now, when you take into account safety, it might not then be a single straight line. It could be a line like that. So just to show you a bit at the demo, okay, we're going to jump quite a few steps because I'm just aware that there's no time. Now we can have all this, look at it, we can get all this overlay. You can see weather, accident, traffic. We can always turn off, turn on, all this kind of thing. But when we put all three layers on it, this is what you have. So you can see some traffic data overlaid with, let's say, weather. That obviously is mocked up. Weather is not as nice as this. So you can see there's rain here, but oh, there's severe rain here. And these are accident spots. So spots that has both heavy traffic, accident spots, and rain, it means that, oh, this is a high risk place. If you want to go from this point to this point, as much as possible, try a different way if you want lower risk. So just to show you what it looks like on the app. So we have this. So let's say you decide to go from point A to point B. I'll tell you, look, you know what? There are some high risk areas, maybe because of accidents, because there's rain, thunderstorm. These are high risk. And compared to the safest route that you have, you can choose from the bottom of the screen. This is 180%, a bit more riskier. So you can choose other routes, or you can choose safer routes. You can choose a safer time. Safer routes meaning that you take a longer way, but you reduce the risk. Safer time is that you can choose to depart earlier or later. There might be changes in weather and all that, which might help you get to the place in slightly later or so, but with lower risk. But the point is that now this option is available. And let's say you can start driving. And I say this didn't start, didn't end, and all that. What we would like to do is to say that, hey, you know what? I recognize that you're going from point A to point B, 8 to 9. I think that you might be going to work. Well, do you do this every day? Well, if you do this, you know what? Help us keep you safe. Every day, every night before you travel, we'll tell you about tomorrow's weather. Bring an umbrella. Leave 15 minutes earlier. Or, hey, you know what? It's massive, man. You might not want to drive. Go on a train. I can give suggestions. Or we can just tell you, hey, it's a great weather ahead. Don't worry about it. Okay, if you like reminders, then we're going to say, hey, you know what? I've sent in a reminder. You know what? Sync in your schedule with me. I will proactively tell you how to travel safely. Okay, and let's suppose you sync that in, and let's say you're a person that works in KL but drives back to other states on a week, every weekend. Now, I can tell you what risk is there for the fastest way, and you can compare all routes. oh well, guess what, this is comparison, this is not as safe and all that. Now, apart from safer routes and safer time, guess what, we can put in deals, because now the biggest difference that we are making is that we are encouraging people to plan ahead. We're giving them, making it easy for them to adopt and give us that timetable, so that now we can plan ahead. Now, when we can plan ahead, we know, let's say 80 people are going from KL to Kuantan, then it is easier for commercial partners to come in to offer them stuff like GrabShare. And we all know, generally, with lower traffic on the road, less cars, it means less accidents. So even in this, we are really helping to systemically reduce driving risk. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.